Hello, guys, and hello, welcome. We've got a guest here, Davide Biocchi, a trader from Directa. Welcome.
Welcome back also to you. From my side, I'm very happy to be here again, and Happy New Year to everyone.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you also. There were rocket attacks on American bases in Iraq tonight in response to the escalation of the conflict between Iran and US. Gold and oil were strongly appreciating. Yet, before the start of the European session, both corrected and visibly corrected. Indexes are falling right now. Safe havens are being bought. Davide, you're a trader, you're a professional trader, so I would like to ask you for your advice for Polish traders. What do they need to do right now? Is it available to join the trend, or it is better to wait for a better prices?
Well, from my perspective and my personal point of view, it really depends from which kind of traders are the people that are following us in a certain way. If we consider investors, the best thing is, let me say, I was explaining several times that this uptrend that went through for several months, we have to ride really it, especially the final, let me say, the final rush that was very, very fast and very deep, I mean. So in this case, I explained to people that it's really good to ride it, but to have a parachute. Do you know what is parachute? I think so. So sometimes it's needed to protect your risk. And this is one of that moment. Because if you are an investor, you can simply sell your stocks, you can sell your assets, or you can protect them through options, through derivatives, maybe also buying volatility. That is another way to protect your portfolio. On the other side, the easiest thing to do is, as always, to sell your stocks if you simply have some of them, okay? So this is very important. This is the first thing that our followers have to do. Otherwise, if they are traders and they want to follow every single wave of a market, okay, in this case, it's really difficult in this moment because the volatility increased. And especially because this market is driven by news, okay? Mm-hmm. And the news are changing minute after minute. And we have algorithm, then maybe we can spend some words on it, but we have algorithm immediately activating their activity on the different asset classes. So it's very hard also for human beings to follow it, avoiding to fall in traps, you know. So this is something that we can spend some words if you want.
And what is your, yes, of course, we can talk about this algorithm, but I would like to ask you first, what is your current strategy for current situation on the markets? Are you still on the market? Because I can see clearly that you are monitoring the euro-dollar chart.
Yes, here I have a euro-dollar chart, but me especially, I'm, let me say, I'm strongly supporting this uptrend of a gold since last June. So considering that we had a definitive breakout, let me say, 10 days ago, 10 market days ago, when the gold broke the 1,480s, so 1480s, it was a very strong resistance, both dynamic and static resistance. And the market started to run. Immediately, I found it the first target at 1520 and 1550, so the previous maximum. But then, let me say, 1,600 was, in my opinion, a very important target. But we also must imagine that this is the, let me say, something like a price where the gold was not for more than 7 years. So it's really important. And what is happening all around us is something like that. When the market is risk off, like in this moment, so avoiding any kind of risk, stocks are sold, sometimes even very, very, very strongly sold, okay? And what does the market buy? The market buy the gold, for sure, but the market also buy the treasury bonds, okay, and the bond, for example. So the money goes back to the, let me say, safe assets, okay? And then on the currencies market, the Japanese yen is bought again, okay? And also the oil is bought, in this case, not because it is a safe, let me say, investment, but because there is a very strong possibility that the price will increase, especially if there will be an escalation in the Gulf area, okay? And this activity is also supported by all the activities of the, let me say, of the companies that are playing in the sector, and they are buying options, call options, to protect their activities. So this is very important to understand that all the other assets I spoke about, they are rising because they are considered safe in a certain way, okay? So it's something like that. If you have a flight to quality, you buy that assets, okay? If you want to protect the risk, you buy gold, okay? But the oil is bought because of the, let me say, terrible and dangerous situation that is now taking place in the Gulf, okay?
Well, you have mentioned a lot of class of assets, yet I would like to ask you about this algorithm first. Is it available for the masses, or is it just for professional use only?
No, let's imagine something like this. Imagine that a lot of, let me say, big investors, I mean, big firms, they have softwares, okay, taking decision in very, very short term. So they are always looking at the news flow, okay, and if something comes from the Gulf, some news about some rockets or something like that, they immediately started acting on all these separate asset classes. So immediately some orders goes to buy gold, to buy oil, to buy yen, Japanese yen, I mean, and then to buy bond, okay, to buy treasury, and to sell mainly stocks, okay? So this happened so fast that it's not something that a human being can do. On the other side, if immediately after, again, the news flow tell something different, for example, that, okay, there was something like that, but it was not so terrible, this algorithm, again, created, let me say, something like a recover. So if it is not so bad, they immediately resell the gold, resell the oil, and then buy again stocks. So you have a lot of traps. You have a lot of false signals. That's why for heavy traders and the one that are trying to follow every single wave of the market, it's like terrible trading like this. And the volatility increased because the market is not choppy, but is moving up and down, without a strategy, because it only follows the news flow.
If I understood you right, you're still active on gold market. Can you deliberate about your current position on gold? Can you describe it for our viewers, and can you please tell us where your take profits are?
Well, as told, I'm really trading the gold since last June. So immediately my target were 1,400, 1,440, then 1,050, and 1,500, and then so on. So since June, I traded the gold only on the long side. Okay, I did not scalp the market, but I went into the market buying the future on the CME market. Okay, the future on the gold. Okay, and let me say I was thinking only about long trade. Okay, and this long trade, in my opinion, are multi-day, I mean swing trading on the gold, because the gold has a very nice trend. Then starting from August, there was the creation of a flag. Okay, the flag was a little, let me say, choppy market with a very shy downside. Okay, but then when the market overtake again 1,480. It started again, in my opinion, the opportunity to buy, and it was something like a very fast movement. Well, if we go on the on the gold, we can easily see this. Okay, so I'm here to explain that the very first buying signal started here with the breakout of this line. Okay, then we have the market here. So this is an uptrend. This is a flag. Okay, and then there is a continuation movement here. So this was the very gentle downtrend that we experienced. And again, if we look at this, when the market broke this line, okay, 1,480, we had here a very strong signal because it was a break. Not only let me do like this. This was the trend line, and this was the static support here and resistance here. So breaking out here showed us the possibility for a very fast market. In my opinion, 1,600 is a very interesting target. So I expect the market not to overtake it in few terms if there are not some news coming from the Gulf, terrible news. Differently, I think that it will be considered for like a short-term resistance.
And what's on your mind right now, apart from gold? What asset classes are you focusing on, apart of gold?
Okay, so my interest is now, let me say, focused not only on this, but also on the oil. So if we go to the oil, we can see easily that for a long time, the market remained in this, let me say, up and down trend from here, that is $50 a barrel, to here, so it is more or less 60 and something dollars a barrel. Sometimes the market moves also to here, but the real resistance is this one. Okay, so we are now on the top. So this is the real resistance. If we will overtake this resistance, the price will fastly move to this previous maximum, around $75, $76 a barrel. But it must be a very strong situation to run over there. So what I expect is that if right now the situation will keep more calm, we can easily see the oil coming maybe back here, like a pullback, okay, and then maybe try again to overtake this resistance. So this is another asset class I'm looking at. And again, let me say, if we I'm really careful right now about investing on the stocks because of the fact that, as we have seen here in the last days, the market went so fast here. So this was very fast, but the prices were people, and the market remained a lot for months and months around the 3,000 points of S&P. So if something will happen, the market will move back exactly where people are thinking that they have habits with the price. So the market will fastly run back to 3,000. So that's why I'm not acting in this moment on stocks. Okay. And another asset I'm looking at is the currencies asset. It's not like to be very volatile in the moment, but as we can see, we have here, let me say, from some years we have a very let me say, I cannot say really something so deep, but it's a gentle downtrend on the euro dollar. And now 1.12, okay, here, okay, is exactly the resistance, something like that. Okay, so I wait the market to overtake this level. In this case, we can see probably an uptrend here, or to come down. So one of the two, I think it will not remain around this level for a long time.
We are running out of time, so I would like to return briefly to tonight's events. We are still waiting for the President of the United States official statement after the attacks. Will it change anything in your opinion? Will it change the market sentiment? Is the Donald Trump able to calm down the markets?
Well, we have seen in the last years that it's really important for a trader to have in his, let me say, working template, the Twitter of Trump, because when Mr. Trump is saying something through Twitter, he always has a big impact in the market. Some days he speaks about this, the Federal Reserve. Some others he speak about oil. He was really supporting, if I remember well, the fact that he was a fan of the fact that the oil price must be down, okay, and the price went down. Then he pushed a lot Powell to put down the interest rate, and the market followed him. Every time he's doing, let me say, he's doing a tweet, the market is reacting to it. So in my opinion, we need to have in our trading console the Twitter of Trump, because every time he is tweeting something, the market is going to have a reaction. So that's why I think that everything you will say today, it can impact the market really a lot.
So to conclude, we should monitor Trump's Twitter account. Do you agree?
Yes, this is definitely.
Thank you, Davide, for this quick talk. I would like to thank you once again for your income, for your brief information about the markets. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you for hosting me. So see you soon. Ciao, ciao from Italy.
See you. Bye.